Good day! In this lecture, we will discuss the chemistry of the atmosphere, focusing on its composition, structure, and chemical processes. By the end of this lecture, you should be able to state the composition of the Earth's atmosphere and understand key atmospheric processes. The atmosphere is the gaseous envelope surrounding the Earth, and the term comes from the Greek words meaning vapor and sphere. The atmosphere is divided into layers based on temperature and composition. We have troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and the exosphere. Let's start with the troposphere, which is the closest layer to Earth. It contains about 80% of the atmosphere's mass and nearly all the water vapor. It is also the thinnest layer of the atmosphere at around 10 kilometers, and all weather events occur here. The temperature in the troposphere decreases with altitude. Next, we have the stratosphere, which contains nitrogen, oxygen, and ozone. Stratosphere is located around 19 to 50 kilometers above the equator, and the temperature increases with altitude due to the absorption of UV radiation. Ozone plays a critical role in protecting life from the harmful UV rays, and they are located in the stratosphere. Next is the mesosphere, wherein the gas concentration is low and the temperature decreases again with altitude. Mesosphere is located around 30 to 50 kilometers above the equator. The next layer that we have is the thermosphere, or also called as ionosphere. It is located between 50 to 400 kilometers above the equator, and the thermosphere contains ionized particles. The temperature in the thermosphere increases due to the interaction with solar radiation. This layer also reflects radio waves, enabling communication systems. Lastly, we have the exosphere, which is the outermost layer, and it is situated around 400 kilometers above the equator. It contains very sparse gases such as hydrogen and helium, and there is no air to breathe, and it is very cold. The atmosphere has a total mass of about 5.3 times 10 raised to the 18 kilograms. Major components include nitrogen and oxygen, while water vapor depends on the location. The atmosphere is around 78.03% nitrogen and 20.99% oxygen. Nitrogen is a very stable gas due to its triple bond. To be used biologically, it must undergo nitrogen fixation. In terms of the nitrogen cycle, molecular nitrogen with its triple bond is a very stable molecule. To be used biologically, it must undergo nitrogen fixation, which is the conversion of molecular nitrogen into nitrogen compounds such as nitrates. There is a process called atmospheric nitrogen fixation, wherein the nitrogen reacts with the oxygen to form nitrogen oxide with the help of lightning. Under nitrogen fixation, nitric acid is converted to nitrate salts in the soil, and these nutrients are taken up by plants, which in turn are ingested by animals. Animals use the nutrients from the plants to make proteins and other essential biomolecules. There is also a process called denitrification, which reverses nitrogen fixation to complete the cycle. For example, anaerobic organisms decompose animal wastes as well as dead plants and animals to produce free molecular nitrogen from the nitrates. In terms of industrial nitrogen fixation, the nitrogen gas reacts with the hydrogen gas with the help of a catalyst to form ammonia. The ammonia reacts with the oxygen to form nitric acid and water. The ammonia and the nitric acid also reacts with each other to form ammonium nitrate, which is a fertilizer. In terms of the oxygen cycle, oxygen is cycled through respiration, combustion, and photosynthesis. Photosynthesis regenerates oxygen from carbon dioxide and water. The oxygen cycle is complicated because oxygen takes so many different chemical forms. Atmospheric oxygen is removed through respiration and various industrial processes, mainly in the form of combustion, which produces carbon dioxide. Photosynthesis is the major mechanism by which molecular oxygen is regenerated from carbon dioxide and water. Auroras are spectacular celestial light shows that results from the ejection of myriad of electrons and protons in space during solar flares or violent eruptions on the surface of the sun. In the north, we have the aurora borealis, and in the south, we have the aurora australis. These electrons and protons collide with the molecules and atoms in the Earth's upper atmosphere, causing them to be ionized and electronically excited. The excited molecules and ions return to the ground state with the emission of light. An excited oxygen atom emits photons at a wavelength of 558 nanometers, which emits green wavelength. And also, it emits red wavelength between 630 and 636 nanometers. The blue and violet colors often observed in the auroras result from the transition in the ionized nitrogen molecule. The wavelengths for this transition fall between 391 and 470 nanometers.